it is up to me to find out how to get inside to Collecticon because I have no idea where this entrance is. I checked the map and it looks like I'm on the complete opposite side of where I'm supposed to be, so I'm gonna walk all the way over there. Starting to make my way over to the crowds, and the first person I want to find is Ian with Ian. Let's go find him. Before heading inside to the venue, I had to pick up my bracelet, which actually let me get into the convention. But once I stepped in, I was shocked at how big the place was. Hundreds of vendors with people buying and trading, and this was going to be a great start to my day. We're looking for Ian with a yellow Pikachu hat. I see a wild Ian with the Pikachu hat. Are we still live?
There we go, we live. Guys, we live. Hey, ProfessorMetri.
We found Ian with Ian. He's a little busy, but we're gonna go take a look at everything else. I've never been to a convention before, so it'll be exciting. I went ahead and took a lap around the entire convention, which was massive. Hundreds of vendors selling all sorts of TCG products like Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball Super, and of course, Pokemon. But they also had vendors of all types, like Gallery Panda with their bright neon acrylic artwork, and this other vendor, who I can't quite remember the name, selling anime and gaming weaponry, like this Master Sword and ODM swords from Attack on Titan. There were tons of voice actors signing cards and memorabilia, along with other big names like Unlisted Leaf. I saw a giant Charizard offering hugs to kids, and a giant Pikachu handing out cards who I waved hello to. I began looking at cards, and I have never in my life seen so many raw cards and slabs on display. It was so cool to see. Such a wide variety of vintage and modern, and the amount of Charizards on display would make you think that they're not even rare. I saw this secret rare Charmeleon from Stormfront, and one case over it was a secret rare Charmeleon from Team Rocket Returns. That was just really cool to me. There were tons of vintage EX cards and holos, and honestly, I wanted to buy all of it. But like I always say, there needs to be a goal in mind. So let me introduce you to Marcus, my cousin. He's on a mission to complete his binder with the first 7 Wizards of the Coast sets. So today, we'll be hunting for vintage cards to fill up his binder. I considered starting with boxes and packs, but unfortunately, my budget wasn't in the tens of thousands for this. But seriously, look at the amount of vintage boxes and packs on display, and there's always this impression that vintage supply is dwindling, but it's really not. I promise you, if you want vintage and you can't get it right now, it'll be there in the future. Just look at these base set packs, it's crazy. I began searching through binders to find what I needed, and the first one I found had some really cool holos and ultra rares, but it was mostly from modern sets and there was no vintage in it. I found another vendor with tons of binders, all full with vintage cards, but a majority of it was Neo era cards and things that weren't really from the first 7 sets of WotC. As I flipped through the pages, I found some of the cards I was looking for, but I decided to keep flipping and see what else I can find. I checked the condition of some of the cards and kept track of what cards I might want. I didn't take anything yet, but I'm going to come back to this binder. The second binder I found had tons of holos. This was exactly what I was looking for. I didn't know exactly which cards Marcus had already, but I know he had mostly non-holos. The cards were priced based on condition, and since this was going to be in a binder, condition didn't really matter, as long as there were no huge creases on the front. Mewtwo was everyone's favorite back in the day, so this was going to be my first pickup. Next up, I checked through all the Hypnos and chose the one I wanted. The binder was organized by type, so it was easy to look at and find exactly what I wanted. This Clefairy from base set was probably the cheapest holo in the entire binder. It was $4, so I picked it up. Chansey came next, but there were so many of them, I obviously just went for the cheapest one. I picked up a Hitmonchan from base set and a Dugtrio from Rocket. This was coming out really, really good. I was on a roll here. I knew they had pretty much everything, but I'm not made of money here, and I only picked up cards I know Marcus would really like the most. It was time to pick up some non-holos, and Lapras was an iconic Gen 1 Pokemon, so it was an obvious choice. One of my favorite Rocket cards in the set is Dark Vaporeon, so it's coming with me. I picked up some of the starters like Wartortle, Charmander, and Charmeleon from various sets, and I headed out to put them into my binder for later. While I made good progress so far, I had only picked up 11 cards, and this wasn't going to cut it. This is Marcus we're talking about. I filled my binder to store them for later and devised a plan of attack to visit a few more vendors when I go back inside. Before that though, I grabbed a snack to get some energy back because honestly, this was a really tiring day. The first vendor I went to after heading back in had this insane Venusaur for a steal. But ladies and gentlemen, always pay attention to what you're buying because it wasn't till later on in the day when I realized the mistake I had made with this Venusaur. The second vendor I went to had a bunch of non-holos I needed, and with that, I needed to go back and fill the binder again. I've just come to a quieter place to charge my phone, and to put away that Venusaur that I just bought, which I'm really happy I bought that. Honestly, I feel like it's a really good deal, regardless of the condition, like a base set Venusaur. So most of the cards, all of the cards that I've gotten so far, I've bought because it just really really busy, and the vendors don't really have the time to trade. I think I'm probably gonna get something to eat, chill out for a little bit, and towards the end of the day, when people start to leave, I just realized the Venus store is not in English. It's all right. A little bit of a blunder on my part. That's really funny. Yeah, I'm just gonna chill out, get something to eat, something to drink. I'm really thirsty. Florida's really hot, and maybe later in the day I'll do some trades. I can't believe it's not English. I didn't even realize that. I decided to take one last look around the convention and see what kind of cool things I could find. I could stare at these Gold Star cards all day. This Pikachu EX box caught my attention because the promo inside this box was something I had just pulled as a PSA 9 from a Pokevault mystery box in a previous video. The last thing I want to show you guys are probably the 4 most expensive individual cards I have ever seen in my life. The University Magikarp, the No Rarity Charizard, a Tropical Wind from Tropical Mega Battle, and the Family Trophy card, Kangaskhan. And yes, the prices on the screen are all real. Day 1's coming to an end, and I haven't opened a single thing for the camera. So we have 5 packs of Crown Zenith. After this, I'll be heading home, and we'll fill up the binder with Marcus. Who knows? Maybe if we hit absolutely nothing, this is literally gonna cut straight to Marcus. We got Scyther, Pokeball, Young Goose. Ooh, the patterned the patterned energy. All right, we got the second pack. We got Baltoy, Tangela, Rock, Reverse Energy now, and a Snorlax. So we're just hitting energies today. Honestly, I really like the energies. Holy print line. The whole thing, do you see it?
Holy print line, Batman.
Man, the whole thing is, I don't know if you hold it in the right light, you're gonna see the whole thing from the whole way down. All right. I don't have a time for it. I hope this is on. Oh, dude, come on, another Magnezone. All right, but we're happy.
And a Lightning Rock.
Ian, do you have this one?
Nope.
This is for you.
Oh.
Sprout.
Just chop it.
Helion Pile.
Who knows where it's been?
Slurp it up like spaghetti.
The Pikachu.
I don't have that one either.
I have this one. You can have this one too.
What?
For Ian with Ian. I'm just pulling dupes for Ian. This is just all for Ian, I guess.
It's not even a duplicate.
All right, give
it to
give us the actual
better.
Chatot.
You can have this one.
Mr.
You can
Reverse.
Love it.
And a hollow sign card. I'll see you guys back at the house. Wait, what do we want? He wants this one too. All right, we are back in the not so usual studio with Marcus, and I'm gonna show you for the first time what he is actually collecting. Inside his binder, he is collecting the first 7 WotC sets. Base set, Jungle, Fossil, Base set 2, Rocket, Gym Heroes, and Gym Challenge. I don't think I missed anything while listing it there.
What did you call it? WotC?
WotC, Wizards of the Coast.
Oh, yeah, WotC.
So today, we're just gonna fill up with whatever we ended up buying from the Collecticon.
Now, keep in mind, I haven't seen what you're about to show me.
All right, so I hope you're impressed.
Okay.
Let's go a few pages over.
Let's go Charizard.
I'm not that rich. And we have a beautiful selection. We've got about 7 hollows, and from the second half of the day, I think we got a bunch of non-hollows. I don't remember if I actually recorded getting these, and this was a Japanese Zapdos that we ended up picking up from UPB, which I know it's not English, but we're gonna put it in the binder anyway. So let's take these out and then start organizing the binder. In total, we are adding 22 cards to the binder, starting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 base set cards. The entire binder is in order. So Marcus here does not follow good binder behavior and does have O-ring binders, which can damage the cards. If you guys want to learn more about how to protect your cards, check out my last video on collecting cards, how to buy them, and how to keep them safe.
In my defense, I got this binder before that video came out. And I did give him the idea for that video, which I don't think I get credit for, so he'll probably cut this out.
We'll have to replace this binder. We'll start with the hollows. So the first hollow is actually Chansey, which is number 3. And number 5 is Clefairy with a sleeve. We have 7, which is Hitmonchan. 10 is Mewtwo, which is the first slot here. And 15, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 is Venusaur. Last but not least, we have the non-holo.
Yeah, ask them if they noticed anything about the Venusaur.
Well, I actually recorded a part of it where I was like, oh shit, I hope he doesn't notice. 42 out of 102. We're doubling up here, and we'll just put the War Turtle. I thought he didn't have this one already, but I guess he does. We'll do, what's next? Fossil or Jungle? I don't remember. Jungle.
Yeah, I said that the other day, you corrected me and said it was Fossil.
Say that. Only one fossil card to add to the collection, which is 19 out of 64. Jungle is a really tiny set, and it is the Flareon. Moving into Fossil, which is also a small set comparatively to all these newer sets that are here. It's actually smaller than Jungle. It has 62 cards. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards to add. Sorry, 6 cards to add to the collection, starting off with 8 out of 62, which is the Holo Hypno. Next up, we have 16 out of 62 is the Aerodactyl, and then 24 and 25 consecutively are the Kabutops and Lapras.
And this is why, folks, you always get the side loading sheets.
Also much easier to put in. Next, we have 17 out of 62, so we're going back a page. And the Zapdos is in Japanese, and these did not have set numbers, so we're gonna look it up real quick. So the Holo Rare Zapdos is 15 out of 62, which this was 16 coming right before the Aerodactyl. We'll get that replaced with an English one day.
Maybe Spanish Venusaur.
Moving into Rocket, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards to add, and one of them being the Holo Dark Dugtrio. Starting with 6 out of 82, it's right in the beginning of the set. We actually have both the Holo and the non-Holo. Oh, we have a really nice swirl right there on the Dark Dugtrio, which is always nice to have. And that is number 8. Our next one is going to be number 19, the Arbok, Dark Arbok, coming into the bottom left corner. And 23, 2019, 2021, 22, 23, you can put that in there. We'll also have Dark Alakazam, one of my favorite cards actually. I wish it was a Holo, but it is number 18.
The Holo would be a different number, right?
Yes, the Holo would be a different number. And 26 is going to be the Dark Hypno, but it is a non-Holo. 32, Dark Charmeleon, one of the nicer cards in Rocket, but we already have it in first edition. However, the condition on this one is significantly worse. A lot of damage on it. The back looks awful. This is a nice little, pretty minty copy. So I'm still gonna leave the first edition ahead of it because first edition definitely beats Unlimited any day. Last but not least, for Rocket, we have 43 out of 62, the Dark Vaporeon. This is one of my actual favorite cards from the set. And it's unfortunate that it's not in a Holo, but in Legendary Collection, it is a Holo. One of my, chase cards for in the future. Hopefully add it to my collection, but we have 45 coming right over here on the left side. 2 more cards to add to the binder as he flips to Gym Challenge. I have a video all about sets and their symbols. Gym Challenge has the black, and Gym Heroes has the white stadium. So these both came from Gym Challenge, and Gym Challenge also where you find Blaine's Charizard, which is why we also have Blaine's Charmander. We have number 23 and number 60, respectively, for the Nidoqueen and Charmander. So Nidoqueen is going to come right here. A lot of things to fill up in this binder. Maybe this will be a, very long-term future channel goal to complete the first 7 sets of Wizards of the Coast. I think it'd really be really cool to have a master set and maybe even include the promos. But yeah, so this is it. We just filled in, I think, 27 extra cards into this binder. A lot of Holos were added. There are 720 cards to complete all 7 sets. It's a lot of cards to collect. Some of them being very expensive, the Dark Charizard, Dark Blastoise, Dark Dragonite. But yeah, we hope to one day fill this and take you along on that journey. This is everything we picked up from Collecticon on the first day. Day 2, we'll be doing trading. Really awesome stuff. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this part of the video, and we'll continue on.
ProfessorMetri was talking about how Charizards are so expensive, but I just looked up Blaine's Charizard on eBay. PSA 6, 99 cents. So we're gonna go ahead and place that bid right. Okay.
Go ahead, place it.
I don't know if I'm logged in.
Outbid. Amateur.
See ya.
It's day 2 Collecticon, and yesterday I spent most of the time trying to find vintage cards for Marcus's binder, and today we're just gonna try and do some trades. I have a lot of slabs that I want to kind of decrease in quantity and maybe trade for one nicer slab, either like a vintage card or just something better. So we'll see if we can get that today, and I really want to open a vintage pack. Don't know if it's gonna be happening, but We'll see how it turns out. Back inside for day 2, I saw some really crazy trades going on, and I wanted that to be me. That's a gold star Charizard on the table right there. That's some crazy stuff. I looked around for cards I might be interested in, but also things that might be in my budget, because there's no way I'm walking home with a PSA 10 Crystal Charizard, or a Lugia EX for that matter. Here's 2 cards that did catch my eye though. A PSA 6 Shining Celebi from Neo Destiny, and a PSA 9 Mega Rayquaza EX Full Art from Ancient Origins. So I managed to find 2 cards I'm pretty interested in. They're not gold stars like I really wanted. There's a Rayquaza PSA 9 from Ancient Origins, the Full Art, which would go great with my PSA 9 version of the Rayquaza Full Art Roaring Skies. They're kind of like sister cards in my opinion. And the Shining Celebi. It is a PSA 6. It's not a gold star, but it's one of those kind of grail cards, you know, shining Pokemon. They kind of wow you when you see them. So I kind of want to have one of those in my collection. I have a bunch of graded cards that, you know, I kind of want to downsize them into something better. I don't want to buy it outright. I want to try and trade and sell until I come up to the price, but I still want it to be a fair deal. Let's see what I can do. After checking prices on eBay, the Celebi was a little overpriced, so the Rayquaza was going to be my goal. The vendor was only offering 60% on trades, so I had to find a better deal. I went to another vendor by the name of Ava's Binder, who offered 70%. I sold both my Japanese friends in Hisui and Secret Rare Mewtwo for $70 in total. Mewtwo had some really bad whitening, which really brought down its value, but with some cash and some slabs to trade, I headed back to the vendor with the Rayquaza. Thanks. So I'm going to be trading the Mega Charizard EX Full Art from Evolutions and the PSA 10 Nessa for the Full Art Ancient Origins Rayquaza. The deal was done, and I was now the new owner of this beautiful looking Rayquaza. And just look at how good it looks next to the Roaring Skies one. I am so happy with this trade. It is now the end of day 2, and I just said bye to Ian, just said bye to UPB, Mr. Mika, and everyone, and I am exhausted. It's a very long 2 days, definitely a lot of fun. Being my first Collecticon, I didn't really know what to expect walking in, but walking out, I definitely enjoyed my experience. I think next time I'm gonna be much better at trading, much better with making deals for buying and all that other stuff. I definitely could have done a little bit better, but learning experience. I don't know where this is gonna be in the video, but if it's all the way at the end, I just wanna thank you all for watching and being here and, you know, supporting the channel.